This is going to be a short instructional video on how to attach a cable to the SP-6 underwater speaker. And we're going to take, you got the speaker, you got your cable, you got shrink tubing, you got your wrench, some wire strippers, needle nose pliers, side cutters, and a soldering iron. We got a heat gun. So you strip off with your wire strippers some of the insulation, about an inch. That way, then you take the appropriate, we're going to do, we put our shrink tubing on so that we don't end up having to cut it after we put it together. So we go ahead and get our, you don't need them super long. You're going to want to keep it so it covers your solder joint really good. But you don't want a huge piece. And I'm using two sizes because I'll shrink one piece and then I shrink the other one on it, so it like double insulates what I'm doing. So we take our cable, the black wire that's in our underwater speaker cable, and we take and wrap the black wire of the underwater speaker. And what we're going to want to do is to keep our solder joints as small and tight as we can, because there's not a tremendous amount of room inside the speaker, but there is a surprising amount where you can push stuff in there. So once you've got it wrapped good and tight, then you take your solder and get it to where it solders the two wires together. And you don't need to get it really, really big. You just want to make sure it's throughout the wire, because we want to keep that solder joint as small as we can. And once it's all set, and let me see, I need to get a piece of paper towel and use with my alcohol, because you want to clean any solder flux off that might be there. So once you've got it cleaned, then you take and cut off the excess wire, and then you stretch it out so it's there. Take your piece of shrink tubing, slide it over it so it centers on it, and then take your heat gun and you're going to shrink it down onto it. Then we put this second piece over it, so we got a double layer of it. It's going to make it a little bit bigger, but it still will fit inside there. See, and it's better to do it this way than to do a splice, because this way you're going to be sure once this is all put together, you're going to have good watertight integrity, and you're not going to have any shouldn't have any leakage at that point. They've got things where you can connect stuff, but really for this application, it's better to make it hardwired right to the speaker. And like I say, it's not anything an electronic technician should be able to do. I mean, it's something very straightforward. So a little bit of soldering and some shrink tubing, but it's not real complicated stuff. So a good technician should be able to do this without any problems at all. And once he gets the solder on there, lets it cool down. Then again, we'll clean it. And then we cut off the excess that we don't need. And then stretch it out. And put the shrink tubing over it. And once you've got that there, then you take and get the heat gun out. Bring the other piece out. Put it over it. Power it up again. Get the heat shrink going. Shrinking down. Now, this has like a an adhesive inside it, so as it shrinks, it sort of helps make it waterproof. So it helps keep water away from it if there were ever any water should get in there. But the idea is that it's just another thing that we do to try to help make sure everything stays good. And then once you've got the two wires hooked on, which you can do if you want to, you could take and at the other end of the cable connect it, make sure it works, because these things you can run these in air. You won't hurt them if you do run it in air. And then just slide your cable in, and the idea is to push it in and get one in underneath and get the white wire. You try to get the two smaller wires in first. Get them to go sliding in there. See, once they're in there and you get the other one, then you get the black one. Then you keep these fairly short so that when you do go, it's pretty much just give it a little bit of a bend and it drops in and goes underneath the plate. And then once you've got, then you can push it. You don't need to have a lot of extra in there. You just work it around, make sure everything is loose. That way you've got it all, nothing crunched up too much. So once you've got it in there and you've got 2 to 3 inches, then you've got Teflon tape on the fitting. And then you screw it in with Teflon tape. Sometimes it's easier to flip it on its side and get it started. There we go. See? Once you get it going, then you get your wrench. I have these made up special. I take a regular fitting wrench and I have them this machined out. But you can, because that way if it was boxed in, you couldn't slide it over. So a lot of times you have to use an open end wrench. And then you just screw it in until it gets tight against the wall of the speaker housing. And with the Teflon tape, that's helped make sure you've got your water tightness there. See, once you get it down and then that way make it good and tight. So you know it's against that housing good. Okay, we got that good. So, and then that sort of moves there. Take your nut, slide it on it, and it's the same size wrench. And we have it without the strain relief because on that Paragon niche, there's not a lot of room in the backside to accommodate a strain relief. So then you just tighten it up good where you're sure you're going to get your watertight seal. Because the gasket squeezes down on the cable And it also squeezes against the fitting, and that's what keeps the water out. And then this is a, there. So once it's good and tight, can't undo it. It's there. So now it's ready to, you coil up a couple feet, put it inside the Paragon niche, and then put it in. Then you got your 6-hole pattern to secure it to the Paragon niche. So you can see it's pretty straightforward. There's no, on some of them that we did earlier for them, we were putting a coupling there, but they could leak. This way, if you do it this way, and a good electronics technician should be able to do this with no problem. It's not real hard. It's just taking your time and being careful what you're doing. Make sure everything is good and tight, good solder joints, shrink tubings down, and so forth. So if you have any questions on the setup of the cable, you can call us at Oceanears at 330-896-3644, 330-896-3644, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you might have on how to put this cable on an SP-6 speaker. So anyway, have a great day, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from this. Have a great day now.